Hi, this video is to show you more about how to correctly set up and record grades for your semester-long courses. First, I want to talk a little bit about putting in final exams. I know some semester courses do it, some semester courses don't, so you'll have to choose the path that's best for your course. But if you offer a final exam, here are some things you should know. When you set up your grading period and final weights at the beginning, if you offer a final exam, you probably set them up something like this, where you have a quarter one period, a quarter two period, and a final for semester one period. And, you weighted them according to the directions from Liz or your department chair. We need to talk about how to correctly get your final exam into that final for semester one category so that your weights remain the way that you set them up here. So, in your gradebook, you'll notice for a semester course you also have quarter one, quarter two, and final for semester one. You may find you have final/midterm material grades. The best thing to do is to ignore those for now. There is a way to use them. We don't use it in-house, so for now, just ignore it. I've already set a final and final for semester one. So I'm going to go in it and edit it so I can show you how I've correctly done this. Put in all of the information about the exam. You may have already done this. By the time you see this video, you've probably already given your exam. Make sure you've got your scale in correctly. It doesn't matter what category you pick, because this will be the only item in the category probably. The only thing is, if you give two final assignments for some reason that go into this final exam category, like say you give a two-part test, or you give a test and a project, or a test and a paper, and they both go into the final exam category, just make sure you pick the same thing for everything that goes in here. I like to pick assessments if you've got a category like that. Then for the period, make sure you pick final for semester one. Don't set this as a midterm or final. This is where the mathematics errors can come in, and you actually won't be weighting this the way you think you will if you check this box. Last but not least, make sure that you set the date or go in and edit the date so that it fits in this 2-day final for semester one period. We have set it for a weekend. No matter what semester it is, it's almost always going to be a weekend so that it doesn't cause conflicts with our other starts and end dates for terms. So in this case, I've just gone ahead, let's say I gave this exam on the 9th, but I've gone ahead and forward dated it just so that it fits into the correct category. And you can just explain to your class why that needs to happen. So save those changes, and then you'll notice, just like mine, you'll have a quarter one, a quarter two, and a final for semester one. If you are in the final for semester one and you've done the correct setup for your exam, it should show up here and you should be ready to grade. Now, let's say you actually have your grades done. You've got quarter one, quarter two, and the final for semester one already done, recorded, correctly set up. Now, what do you need to put in PowerSchool? Well, let me show you. For a semester course, the expectations are a little bit different than for a regular one. So let me get into PowerSchool and show you. Let's make sure I get into Teacher PowerSchool. Okay, so I'm going to open up Miss Brady's health class to show you guys where to put things. So you'll notice again you have semester one, quarter two, and F1. You should already have quarter one grades in. But what you'll need to do now is focus on the other grades. So the grades you'll be putting in are first quarter two, and I'll show you where to find that. So let's make sure we're in the score sheet for this. So I can go into my score sheet. Make sure you're still always in quarter two in this drop-down box in the corner. It'll say it up here too, score sheet quarter two. That's how you know you're in the right place. Then in Schoology, match it up. So quarter two matches. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing though. You've got two grades here. The grade that's not labeled The blank column is quarter 2. The overall grade is everything you've graded. I'll show you where to put that in a minute. But this one here, this is the quarter 2. So the next grade you need to put in is your final exam, right? If you don't use one, you can go ahead and leave this blank, but if you do use a final exam, we'd ask you to put it in F1 in PowerSchool. So again, match it. Final for semester 1, use that unlabeled column, match and override in PowerSchool. Then last but not least, you're gonna need to put in a semester 1 grade. This is the overall grade that they've gotten for both quarters and the final if you offer it. Now, to do that, this is where it doesn't actually matter which term you're in. You can go into all grading periods if you like. This is where you're gonna use that overall grade. Your overall grade should be the same in quarter 1, quarter 2, no matter which screen you're on. But this overall grade will reflect the semester 1 grade for your course. So you'll find that and then go ahead and put that in. Again, make sure you're in the right terms when you're doing this. Save those grades when you're done. And that's how you correctly do the final exam and grade confirmation for a semester class. Please definitely reach out if any of this doesn't make sense or you're looking at something and you think it doesn't quite match what you have set up. We're happy to help.